Plaintiff Darion Binder claims the defendant agreed to clean the house in exchange for her rent. Now that they're dating, which is going great, the cleaning has stopped, so he's suing her for rent. Defendant Kayla Eiler says her boyfriend must be out of his beautiful mind because she has been keeping the place clean and doesn't owe rent. She's counter-suing for $40 for breach of contract and a toilet seat.
All right, Darion, you are suing Eiler, who is a tenant in the building that you own and also has become a girlfriend?
That's correct. We're roommate slash landlord tenant. I live in the same building, but she's renting out a room.
So she's a tenant with benefits.
In a way, you're on.
Guess you could say that.
Certainly. So it started about a year and a half ago is when I bought the house. I lived there by myself for about 6 months, almost exactly 6 months actually. Kayla was actually one of the first tenants that I found via roommate app, and she moved in. She signed a roommate agreement.
How many rooms were you renting out?
So it's a 4-bedroom house. At the time, I was renting out the basement and one of the upstairs bedrooms. I was renting out the basement to another tenant. He was paying $600 for that, and Kayla was paying, because it was a smaller bedroom upstairs, she was paying $300 a month.
Okay, so the rental agreement, which I see here, it's a year's lease, and she would pay $300 a month. So now what?
So the first few months were all right. She was paying her money. She was living in the room. We didn't have any problems. She was taking care of her stuff. All the normal, roommate conflicts that you might expect were, for the most part, not happening. She was a good tenant slash roommate. After a few months, we did start dating. She's a pretty attractive woman. I'm a healthy young man, so we started dating after a few months.
I'm going to have to take your word on you're healthy, but okay, let's assume you're healthy.
Sure.
Okay.
We also have a daughter together. We have a 3-year-old cat. Her name is Nala.
Wait. You have a daughter?
Well, we call her our daughter. She's our cat.
Oh.
But she is like our daughter.
Because
this is her.
How could you in 2 months have a daughter?
After a few months of us dating, because I did have other tenants, I did have a full-time job, I had a night shift job, I didn't really feel like dealing with everything at home. Tenants would have dirty messes or they'd pay rent late, stuff like that. Kayla, for the most part, didn't have most of those problems. She was actually a very, very good tenant at first. And I entered into a verbal agreement with her around April of this year that she could, kind of take over in a more official capacity management of the house. She'd, keep it clean, she'd take rent from other tenants, make sure they paid, and then give it to me. Stuff like that. In exchange, I would allow her to not have to pay me $300 a month in rent anymore. That went fine at first. It was kind of around the beginning of June that problems started to develop. So
And what kind of problems?
tenants that I moved in, other people that were renting other rooms, she started having disagreements with them. She started, there were conflicts. I would have to step in, devote my time and energy towards resolving that. The rooms, the common areas and such were not getting cleaned up to the standards that I was expecting for, basically covering her rent, $300, and just stuff like that. It was around the middle of June that I told her, hey, we can't do this anymore. I don't feel like you're covering as many responsibilities as I would expect for covering your rent, basically.
So you're suing her for $600 because you want her to pay those 2 months' rent?
June and July that I'm suing her for, Your Honor. I don't feel like she, held up her responsibilities, and I feel like she should start paying rent.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, I recently just got out of a toxic relationship, and I found Darion on a roommate app called Roomster.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and we got to know each other, and he said, hey, I have a room. It's $300 a month. Do you want to move in? And I said, sure, So I paid my money up front, my security deposit.
Yes.
And then we started dating. So I fell in love with him, and he fell in love with me.
Yeah.
I have a photo album of all of our dates. I keep pictures of everything that happens with us. As you can see, Your Honor, we were so serious at that point. We're even more serious now that he got me a promise ring. So that ring means so much to me.
You give her a promise ring,
Yes.
and you're now suing her.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Your Honor. I want to know why he's suing me.
The merits of the case aside, just why do you sue the woman you love?
I just feel like in a relationship, it's not just about money, but it's not just about love either. I think that
Your Honor.
especially if you're living with someone, you know.
That was a side comment.
Yeah.
I'm not a dating advisor here, but
I understand.
that's not a good route to go.
Maybe, I just feel like,
I
know,
love you, honey, and here are the papers.
You've been served.
You are served.
Your Honor, I don't think that I owe him that money because, well, during that time I was cleaning the house.
And you have proof up here?
Yes, it is Exhibit F, and then there's like a couple pictures. You'll see like the living room is clean, the office is clean. I clean his office. He games and throws water bottles everywhere, and I clean it up. But I'm not his maid. I shouldn't have to clean up after him. You can tell he's a healthy man. He's grown. He should be able to clean up his own mess. I shouldn't have to do it, Your Honor.
Why don't you read some of your duties that you say you performed in the month of June and July, because that's what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay.
So every day in June and July, I made sure that all 4 bedrooms were cleaned. I made the beds, I vacuumed, and I dusted.
Got it.
On June 10th, July 3rd, July 4th, and the 5th, I cleaned the kitchen, including the counters, the fridge, the sink, the microwave, the stove, the dishes, everything, you know, that comes in
Yeah.
a kitchen. I made sure it was all clean. On Thursdays, that is our trash day. Thursdays, June and July, I took out the trash bins.
you cleaned everything.
Yeah, I cleaned everything.
The counter-suit, yeah, you're suing for a breach of contract. I
Yes.
assume you mean a breach of the agreement where you didn't have to pay rent in exchange for cleaning.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're also saying $20 for a toilet seat.
Yes.
Why? The toilet seat was broken?
Yeah, so there is a picture and
Let me
evidence
see
that
a
we
picture of
submitted.
it,
Well, I
because that's
submitted.
probative.
So let me
You
just.
cannot sit on that. That would be
Yeah.
painful.
So, Your Honor, I had a friend who came over, and so I have my own bathroom. So my friend was sitting on the toilet seat. Now, when I first moved in,
How
like to the
big is
basement,
your friend?
Very big. Your Honor.
she's a bigger woman.
Very large.
That really broke when
Yeah,
someone
so
sat
there
on
was like a little crack in the toilet seat, but it was like together, you know, like I could sit on it and I was okay. I wasn't gonna fall in the toilet. Well, when my friend sat on it, she fell in the toilet and the toilet seat broke. I've been asking him for 4 weeks now, probably maybe even longer than that, to replace my
Okay.
toilet seat.
Okay.
And, you know,
you've made your point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's acting like a
You
landlord.
are going to get
and not a
$20 for that
boyfriend,
toilet seat.
but won't do his
So
landlord
toilet seat,
responsibilities.
It did take me a while to replace the toilet seat.
Also, like, I don't think that I should pay rent either because our washer machine is broke and he still hasn't fixed it. I haven't
washing
been able
machine
to do
works just
laundry.
fine.
I haven't been able to go to the bathroom. Like, those
Okay.
are 2 amenities I should be able to go to the bathroom.
Relationship survive the lawsuit?
Oh yeah,
I
I love
believe
him
so,
so
Your
much.
Honor. I just
love you
I-
so much.
I,
And you
I don't
love
care
her.
about I don't care about this. This isn't gonna break us up.
If you're in a romantic relationship, you've given her a promise ring, you're thinking of a future together, you love her, you don't sue her, okay? If it's bad enough to sue, then you shouldn't be together. But if you love her enough, then you find another way other than coming to court to sue the woman you love. Your reaction should be, I love you so much, I will defend whatever comes your way. I'll always take your side. You have every legal right to sue, but this is no way to start out. You guys are young. You got a baby kitten.
Oh, she's not no kitten. She's big.
First of all, on the counter-suit, I'm granting you $20.
Okay,
for,
thank
to
you.
fix the
Because
toilet
I need a
seat.
toilet seat.
Yeah. On your suit for the $600, I see 2 different relationships here. The first was when she signed the year lease for $300 a month to pay the rent before there was any relationship between you two other than landlord-tenant. You owe $300 a month rent. That's it. Then you said, hey, will you clean the place? And in a sense, you were saying, if you clean the place, I'll pay you $300 a month. So she pays you $300 for the rent, you send her back the $300 for the cleaning, so basically she's getting the room free.
Essentially, yes.
At any time, you are permitted to say, in the future, I don't want to pay you any more for cleaning the place because I'm not satisfied with how you're cleaning. So you don't have to continue that. But for the 2 months that you're suing for, I am saying she did enough. That was the deal. She should get the June and July that you're suing for. You don't like how she's cleaning? From now on, don't pay her any more for cleaning. From now on, it's $300 a month because that's what the lease says. But for those 2 months, To suddenly come after the fact, I don't like the way you cleaned, I want my money now. No, you got to do that before. So the plaintiff's case is dismissed, and the defendant's case, the countersuit, defendant $20.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You gotta do one of those clips, catching up with them like a year from now.
Yeah.
How's it going?
That would be awesome.
How it started, how's it going?
But their home's going to be a pigsty. Okay.
Like you can see, he doesn't have his priorities straight. Yeah, I do love him. Let's just make that clear for the statement.
That guy is not mixing business and pleasure. He's serious about his business.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have two options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.